Welcome back to Apex Alchemy. Today I want to talk about a Emerson Sheepdog. I'll go over some numbers real quick. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have a lot of experience with this knife. It's really just a quick overview. The overall length is 8.4 inches. The blade length is 3.5. The blade thickness is 0.125. The hardness, the Rockwell hardness was supposed to be 57 to 59. Blade material is 154 cm. It's got a V grind. Is that right? Usually his stuff is more. Yeah. I mean, like, the blade grind is a V grind, but like, yeah, he does a lot of this chisel grind stuff, like a 90-10 or so, maybe a 80-20 grind on the apex. Titanium lock, G10 handle. It's an old knife, y'all. And this Emerson actually has really like good action, like very good action. Like it'll, if I get my finger out of the way, it'll drop shut. It's one of those things. I'm gonna make myself a liar. One of those things like you always hear about Emerson's being very complicated to break in. This one's got a flipper. I kind of like that. I wish they put a flipper on the Rendezvous. Maybe they do. I don't know. Like, I've got the CQC11, and it doesn't have a flipper on it, but it's just a baby Emerson Kershaw. So it doesn't have a flipper, but I don't know. Yeah. All right, so that's it up against that. Well, we got kind of be a repeat of the 0730 comparisons. Got the 0730 there. I do have a 6. Get it out of the box, but I like Emerson's, man. The only thing that I wish they would do a little differently myself is, like, if Kershaw can make a frame lock and ZT can make a frame lock when they're designing an Emerson, why can't Emerson make a frame lock when he's designing an Emerson? And maybe I'm probably being nitpicky, but like I prefer to have the frame lock over the liner lock myself. It does. One thing I can say is, like, if you're into making scales or customizing your knives and stuff, then having a liner lock does provide more opportunity to be able to have more artistic expression, I suppose. You could easily carve out some wood or other G10 or whatever kind of material you want to work with, and replace these black scales if you wanted to. Alan said he's used this knife as a hammer. He said he used it forever. He carried it for a couple of years, or maybe a few years. As far as the, did I put the 6? I don't know if I ever put the 6 up there, but this is the Kershaw CQC6. So it's it's much bigger than the Sheepdog's much bigger than the 6. I don't know. I'm digging the Emerson though. Now that I've had one in hand, I'm not afraid to spend a little money on getting a real Emerson. I've always heard Kershaw makes a better Emerson than Emerson. ZT makes a better Emerson than Emerson, and I might not debate that. Like that ZT up there is phenomenal, and I got no complaints with the Kershaws. This one isn't broke in. It hadn't even been carried yet. It's just been sitting in a box. This one I carried for a while, and I like it. I mean, I say a while, like a few weeks, and I like it. But the Sheepdog, it's got me wondering how many Emersons have flippers on them. So that's pretty cool. I'm kind of. It's a lot of people complain about the hardware. It's got a flathead pivot. It's got Phillips body screws. In my opinion, it's a lot easier to find a dime and a small pivot, a small Phillips body screw when you're in the wild. You know, if you don't carry your tools with you, then you know, you could pretty much just ask anybody to borrow a Phillips head or a flathead. If you can't, you know, I mean, you can probably get a USA dime or something in there and loosen or tighten things up if need be. So, like, I really think that when it comes to the pivot stuff or the body screws and the hardware, that using something as simplistic as screws is actually kind of genius. And that's just my opinion. You know, if you don't carry around these things right here in your back pocket, you have problems in the field, then you're gonna you don't have any access to Torx. Torx can, man, they're not that easy to find. You know, like I have 3 or 4 hardware stores in my town, one Lowe's being one of them, and I couldn't find a 6 at any of those places. Not worth buying anyway. So Harbor Freight, you know, had a set, didn't want that, but like a good T6 is not going to be easy to find in the field. So, like, just in keeping that into consideration, I don't have a problem with that hardware. That's just me, though. I rambled enough about the hardware. I've rambled enough about the knife. I have not carried the knife. I'm not giving a review, just a quick rundown as my impressions. I do like the flow-through design. I think pretty much all Emersons that I've handled have had that. Watch me make myself liar on that 6. Where is that 6? The 6 has got a partial flow-through design, and it's got this backspacer in the back, but it's mostly a flow-through design. I was thinking after I said that the 6 might not be. The 11 is flow-through design. So 154 cm, not the greatest steel anymore. Not a bad steel. I can't fail the flipper, but man, it's not a bad knife, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what other. I really don't want to get a Rendezvous. That's what the 11's based off of. I'd love to scoop up one of those. Anyway, I've talked long enough. I don't know enough about the knife. Did you got any questions? Leave them in the comments below. I'll try to get to them, but it's not just not my knife. Thank Mr. Allen P for sending it along, and I very much enjoyed checking it out. You guys have a great one. We'll catch you on the flip side.